morning. Good morning. So, here I am. I never thought that I would get into politics, but I learned early on you don't get what you don't fight for. And I'm in this because we have a Washington that works great for a thinner and thinner slice at the top. And I'm in this fight because I want to have a government that works better for everybody else. That's why I'm here. So let me just say how grateful I am to have the opportunity to be here with all of you. Rich Trumka has been a fearless leader for this organization and also a great friend, and I'm deeply grateful for that. I also want to say a very special thank you to Ken Sagar, to Charlie Wishman, to Julianne Frosalone. When I'm here with people who do the work every day, I feel like I'm at home. So thank you. There's just one thing you need to know about me. I want to tell you about my race right now. There's just one thing you need to know. I've done 126 town halls. I've been to 26 states plus Puerto Rico. I've spoken live to over 80,000 people and tens of thousands more people online and whatever's been covered in the media. And every single time I have appeared at one of these town halls, I have uttered this sentence: unions built America's middle class, and unions will rebuild America's middle class. I don't just say it when I show up in this room. I say it every time because I believe it. And I didn't just discover unions when I decided to run for president of the United States. I've been putting my money where my mouth is for a long time on this. My campaign staff is unionized with a union they picked. I've helped other places unionize, including the grad students in Boston, the casino workers in Las Vegas, airport workers in multiple cities. I've walked picket lines and I've called CEOs to try to get them to settle disputes, to try to get them to recognize unions that were seeking recognition. In other words, I just want to say it this way. If you're looking for a partner in the White House, someone you can count on, then that's who I will be. On every major decision, unions will have a seat at the table. Whether we're talking about healthcare or trade or transportation or manufacturing policy, unions will have a seat at the table. And the reason for that is because I truly believe this is how we're going to fix what's broken in our economy. So here's how I see it. We have had a problem now for decades. And the problem is the government in Washington is working great. It's working fabulously for giant oil companies. It's just not working for people who are worried about climate change. It's working great for giant drug companies, just not for people who are trying to get a prescription filled. When you've got a government that works great for those who can hire armies of lobbyists and lawyers and make huge campaign contributions and set up their own think tanks and bought and paid for experts, but it's not working for working people, that is corruption, pure and simple, and we need to call it out for what it is. Corruption that keeps this government working great for big pharma, for big banks, for big ag, for big tech, and not for working people. So I got 3 ideas about what we do about that. Number 1, we have to attack the corruption head on. We've got to be willing to go after it, call it out for what it is, regardless of what party it is in, and just say we're in all the way to fight it. That we want a government that works for us. Here's the good news, because money is felt everywhere in Washington. Here's the good news. I now have the biggest anti-corruption bill since Watergate. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. We need the biggest anti-corruption bill since Watergate. It's just not working for us out there. But let me tell you a couple of parts of it. My bill says end lobbying as we know it. Block the revolving door between Wall Street and Washington. And just one more on that I'll mention. You really want to root out some corruption? Make every single person who runs for federal office put their tax returns online. That's part one. Part two is we got to restructure the heart of this economy. The problem we've got is too many giant corporations that are exercising more and more and more power. Power in this economy, power in this government, and raking off more and more of the profits. So, the way I see it is to get structural change, you've got to get power back into the hands of workers. That means make it easier to join a union and give unions more power when they negotiate. A second way we restructure this economy is it's time for a wealth tax in America. Yeah. That's a 2-cent tax, 2 cents, on the top 0.1% of great fortunes in this country. So here's how it is. Your first $50 million in accumulated wealth, you keep it free and clear. I know some of you are saying, phew. But on your 50 millionth and first dollar, you got to pitch in 2 cents. And 2 cents for every dollar after that. And what could we do with 2 cents in America? We could provide universal child care for every baby in this country aged 0 to 5. Think what that would mean for young families. Universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old in this country. Raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher to the professional levels they deserve. We can also, with that money, provide tuition-free technical training, 2-year college, 4-year college, for everybody who wants to get some more education. We can help level the playing field, put $50 billion into our historically black colleges and universities, and we can cancel student loan debt for 95% of the kids who have student loan debt outstanding. You bet. And one more thing we can do with that money, there is enough money there that we can attack the opioid crisis head on and bring it down. $100 billion over the next 10 years into defeating this enemy that is killing our brothers and sisters. We can do all of that. We can attack the corruption. We can restructure our economy, and one more, we can help protect our democracy. We need a constitutional amendment to protect the right of every American citizen to vote. We need to make sure that every vote that is cast is as safe as Fort Knox, not open to any Russian hackers or North Korean hackers or anybody else. We need to get rid of political gerrymandering so that democracy really works. And roll back every racist voter suppression law in this country. And just one more I want to mention. Overturn Citizens United. Democracy is not for sale. So this is what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for an America that doesn't just work for a thin slice at the top. I'm fighting for an America that works for all of us. And that means we've got to have an America where we attack the corruption head on. An America where we know to restructure this economy so all the profits aren't going to the top, but they're going to the hardworking people who get it done. And an America that protects its democracy. It is an honor to be here with you. It is an honor to be a partner in this fight with you. Thank you all. Thank you for having me.